Facebook. Come on. YouTube is taking forever. Alright, Facebook is good. Alright. YouTube. Can you do it? Just waiting on YouTube. There we go. And the foxhole. Jumbimon. Alright, let's bring this sound down a bit. Let's get our intro going. We're going to just crank through the reading. Because I'm sleepy. We got to get the show going. Alright. Where's the button? Push some buttons.
Welcome to the 9dNation.
בראשית ברא אלוהים את השמיים ואת הארץ.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Thousands of years later, it was Wednesday at 11 p.m. Central. Get your passport ready and be prepared to declare to the customs agents any edible plants or miscellaneous worldviews. You're now crossing into the nation with no denomination.
Welcome. Just cutting right to it. So, welcome to episode... What episode is this? Oi! This is episode 32. In the course of the first 31 episodes, we've gone through Genesis 1:1 through Genesis 10:6. And our story so far is... Ahia made the cosmos for human regency. It was reset once after evil civilization with fallen angel half-breeds ruined Earth. Blood drinking is illegal, and murder is a capital crime. Humanity descends from Noah's 3 sons. Canaanites are slaves since Ham dissed drunk Noah. Japhethites moved by sea to Turkey and to Greece and beyond. That's as far as we got at the end of last week. Tonight, we're going to add Genesis 10:6 through 20. So let's read that in English real quick. Genesis 10, New American Standard, 6 through 20. The sons of Ham were Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. Sons of Cush were Seba, Havilah, Sabta, Ra'amah, and Sabteka. And the sons of Ra'amah were Sheba and Dedan. Now Cush fathered Nimrod. He became a mighty one on earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Therefore it is said, like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord. You hear that all the time, don't you? Hey, that guy's like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord. I mean, we just were saying that the other day. In the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, Erech, Akkad, and Calneh in the land of Shinar. Keep that in mind, because in about 3 weeks we'll get back to that. From that land he went to Assyria, and he built Nineveh, Rehoboth-ir, Calah, and Rezin between Nineveh and Calah. That is a great city. Mizraim fathered Ludim, Anamim, Lehabim, Naphtuhim, Pathrusim, Casluhim, from whom came the Philistines, and Captorim. Canaan fathered Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth, the Jebusite, the Amorite, the Girgashite, the Hivite, the Arkite, the Sinite, the Arvadite, the Zimmerite, and the Hamathite. And afterward the families of the Canaanites were spread abroad. The territory of the Canaanite extended from Sidon going toward Gerar as far as Gaza, and going toward Sodom and Gomorrah, Admah and Zeboim, as far as Lasha. These are the sons of Ham according to their families, according to their languages, by their lands, and by their nations. We got a lot of work to do tonight. We're going to go through all that in Hebrew. Let me get you that link. 10. Wait, I need chapter 10. 6 through 20. So we'll read 6 through 11 and then I'll scroll down. All right. Let's check on the chat. Ankavanka's in the house. Fireball lights Anchorage. Nice. Orion is a mighty hunter. Hello, Pythagi. All right, let's read this in Hebrew. Or try. Uvene cham kush umitzraim ofut ochenan. Uvene kush seva ba chavila vesavta verama vesavtecha uvene rama sheva udedan. Vechush yalad et Nimrod hu hechel leot Gibauer baaretz. Hu haya Gibauer Tzayed livne achaya alakin yayamar kanimrod Gibauer Tzayid livne achaya. Vatehi reshit mamlachto bavel ve'erek ve'akad ve'chalna ba'eretz shinar. Min haaretz hahive yatsa ashur ve'even et nienve vuet rechovot ir ve'et kalach. Let's see. Let me scroll down. Where did we end? Ve'et kalach. Vuet resin bain Nineveh uvein kalach hi ha'er hagedola. Umitzraim yalad et lodim vuet anamim vuet lahavim vuet naftochim vuet patrosim vuet kazluchim him asher yatsayu misham pelishtim vuet kaftorim uchanaan yalad et sidon bi choro vaet chet vuet hevusi vuet amoriti vuet hagirgashi vuet hakivi vuet haarki vuet hasini. You following along? It kind of makes sense. Vuet harvadi vuet hatsimari vuet hachamati vayachar nafotsu mishpechot ha Kenaani. Vehigavul Hakenaani Meet Sidon Boacha Gerara Odaza Boacha Sidoma Ba Amora Vayadma Utsevoim Od Lasha Elevene Kam Lemishpechotam Lil Shonotam Ba'artsotam Behoyam. And I haven't made this joke in a few weeks. I think I'm ready for my bar mitzvah. Okay. Sorry. This is a terrible, terrible joke. It's not even funny. It's not even slightly funny, but I just sometimes after I butcher trying to read the scroll, I feel like, hey, at least I'm going to get, everyone's going to give me $100. Old rich Uncle Billy is going to give me $50 for reading that scroll so badly. All right, let's go diving in. Gonna try to get through this pretty quick. I say that every time now because we want to get to the commentary part of the show. All right, I'm going to turn the music down a bit. It seems like it was a little overpowering. Hebrew. Okay, so we've read it in English. Kind of read it in Hebrew. Let's dig into it a little bit. Get my notes. Interesting chat. Eat some gefilte fish. Absolutely. All right. So, 10.6. There's not a lot of new words here. There are no new words here, and it's just a bunch of proper names. And I'm not diving deep into proper names because you can do an episode per name, probably. So I'm just going to add to our stories so far. Ham has Cush, Mitzrayim, Put, and Canaan. Next verse. We've got a lot of verses tonight. More genealogy. Ham has Canaan, Mitzrayim, Put, and Cush, who had 5, including Raama, who had Sheba and Dedan. Okay. That's our story so far. The extra sentence. Now, verse 8. Essentially, we don't have any new words here. Cush had Nimrod, who started to end up as a mighty earthling. Let me fix that typo. So now I'm going to read our story so far again from the top. And this is what I've just carried forward as we went. You know, it's a snapshot of 2023 in the way I'm thinking. And you can watch all the episodes to see how we got where we got. I had to leave out something. Like I took out the Proto-Evangelia. I took out Genesis 3:15 after it was in there for a while. Because we'll put it back in when we need it. Ahia made the cosmos for human regency. It was reset once after evil civilization with fallen angel half-breeds ruined Earth. Blood drinking is illegal and murder is a capital crime. Humanity descends from Noah's 3 sons. Canaanites are slaves since Ham dissed drunk Noah. Japhethites moved by sea to Turkey and to Greece and beyond. Ham has Canaan, Mitzrayim, Put, and Cush, who had 5, including the mighty Nimrod, and Raama, who had Sheba and Dedan. Now I'm going to shorten that extra bit. Ham had Canaan, the slaves, and Cush, who had mighty Nimrod. Japheth sired the sea travelers to Turkey and Greece and beyond. I'm going to reword it again. Humanity descends from Shem, or Japheth's Sea Greek Turks, or Ham, who had 4, including Canaan the slaves and mighty Nimrod. All right, let's go to the next verse. Hopefully we're done in 15 more minutes, and we start part 2, which is the live action crazy part of the show, where it gets real. Allegedly. Ooh, shades. We have to play that. Your joke got a smirk. Thank you, P. Thaggy. It's actually funny. You sound like a Russian learning Hebrew. Yes, I probably do. Unchained 01. You tried to make a Sloan Butcher meme. Right. I should. Here, let me play those shades real quick. I haven't played these in a while. Listen closely. Who says...
Dropped $100,000 to get a beat from Shady.
Who dropped $100,000 to get a beat from Shady? Outtakes by the black actor trying to say gefilte fish. Allegedly. Cush. Am I pronouncing it wrong? I'm just looking for some. That's Cush. What's the lyric from? Black Yoda in the house. Calling out Anka Vanka already. I have to agree. With what Black Yoda's saying. All right. Let's do verse 9. Did we do 9 yet? No. It's time for 9. Wait. Yeah. Hu Haya Gibor. He ended up being a mighty, like the Nephilim, That's that same mighty word. Saeed, game hunter or catcher. Now, I'm going to argue that he's clearly hunting humans among other creatures. I don't have direct proof in the text here, but you keep catching these things and you'll start to see it like the bricks make the bricks. Like the humans are drones and they make the towers for Babel. There's lots of time where we're raising cattle, but it's really, and even in the New Testament, like God's followers are sheep. They're just straight up called that. So working backwards, you can sort of see there's always this leap. So Nimrod is hunting the most dangerous game. He's like Predator from the movie. All right. So anyway, I'm not proving it. I'm just saying you can't unsee it. Once you see it, you're like, clearly. But hey, I take it back. No, he's not hunting humans. Now it's haunting you, isn't it? He's hunting humans. And then it says, in terms of facing Ahiah, on which they say, like Nimrod, the mighty hunter, in Ahiah's terms. That's kind of how I would paraphrase these words. So in other words, he was a mighty hunter in terms of, Ahiah's viewpoint, on which they say, like Nimrod, the mighty hunter, in Ahiah's terms. Ahiah means Yahweh. I just pronounce it that way. Good buddy of mine pronounced it that way, and I can see some compelling reasons, and I like it the best. So our story so far, Ahiah made the cosmos for human regency. It was reset once after evil civilization with fallen angel half-breeds ruined Earth. Blood drinking is illegal, and murder is a capital crime. Humanity descends from Shem or Japheth's Sea Greek Turks, or Ham, who had 4, including Canaan the slaves and mighty hunter Nimrod. Let's go to the next verse and see what we find. Vatahi Rashit. It ended up being that the start of his Mamlakto. It comes from Mamlaka or kingdom or sovereignty, dominion or reign. There's 117 usages in the Law and Prophets. By that I mean in the Old Testament. 117 usages. And it pretty much means a kingdom. So in English, a kingdom means a state or government having a king or queen as its head. A lot of times when a word is just straight up, always translated by all the translators, always used almost the same, I'll just go to the English definition because it feels to me like it's not that potentially misunderstandable. Could be wrong. So it ended up being that the start of his kingdom, Bavel ve'erech ve'hakad ve'chalne ba'eretz shinar. Why did I didn't translate all that. My notes are garbage there. Babel, or Babylon. Erech, Akkad, Kalne, in Shinar. Oh no, just my notes were, yeah. So let's summarize our story so far. Ham had 4, including Canaan, the slaves, and mighty hunter Nimrod, the Shinar king. The king of the empire of Shinar. This is an early empire. This is going way back. It's first real recorded empire. I guess there could be some pre-flood empires, right? So it's the second recorded series of empires. I don't know. Let's go to verse 11. Let me catch up with the chat. It's been a while since I've checked in with the chat. A couple minutes. I feel like it's either quiet or out of control. A little bit of both. Sloan sent me. Tallest symbol freedom, welcome. It's good to see you. Commander Sloan is, of course, the commander. Revenge Odoishi, hello. Honka Vonka is going to send in P. Thaggy instead of... Yeah, Tush is ZZ Top. I'm just looking for some Tush. You played it every weekend for 3 years. Nice. So Unchained 01, I used to do a weekly show at Kenny's Castaways in Manhattan on Sunday nights. Always would drive home 2 a.m. to Jersey from Manhattan. And we had some regular songs we would do. Yeah, it was good. Froggy Nimrod is a false god like Cain. Yes. Unchained 01, I think you're onto something. Kind of like a pharaoh, right? Truth Social users oil. I'm just going to show this, Anka Vanka. It better not be creepy. What is it? I'm just going to show it. I like showing. I don't support censorship too, Adam, so let us all know what happened at the Standard. Oh. Nice one. That's a good one. When did Cain become a god? So Cain founded the city of Enoch. And those guys, like, got down to some bad business, right? The flood came after. Yeah, I don't know if he was worshipped as a god. He's kind of like a chief bad guy, though, right? For the shadowy people. All right, let's go in. From that land, he went to Assyria and constructed cities Rehoboth and Nineveh and Kalach. Nineveh we see later with Dagon, right? So here's Dagon being established by the half-breed Nimrod, who's already, he's got Nephilim qualities. So our story can say the mighty hunter Nimrod, the Shinar king who branched out into Assyria. So now I'm going to restart the story so far and shrink it down. Ahaya reset the cosmos and says to stay purebred human, don't drink blood and don't murder. We come from either Shem, Japheth, the Greek, or Ham, who sired the Canaanite slaves, and the half-breed Nimrod, who founded Assyria. Let's look at 12, 13, and 14. We can go pretty quick through those. I'll show you why. 12. And resin between Nineveh and Kala, that is the city great. Doesn't really change our story so far in any way that I wanted to keep. And Mitzrayim had Ludim and Anamim and Lehabim and Naphtahim. We're going to get back to Mitzrayim in several weeks. That becomes a very important word. That's basically Egypt. The children of Mitzrayim, the descendants. Let's look at verse 14. And Pathrusim, the Cashlahites, which came from them, the Philistines and the Caphtorites. So let's log our story so far. Ahaya reset the cosmos and says to stay purebred human, don't drink blood and don't murder. We come from either Shem, Japheth the Greek, or Ham, who sired the Canaanite slaves, also the Philistines, and the half-breed Nimrod, who founded Assyria. It seems to me, so far, that everyone tries to say that the Palestinians are not the remnants of the Philistines. I dug into that a little bit a few weeks ago when I was on this page, in this section. And it's debated back and forth, and so I guess this is not the Palestinians. It's the Philistines. So I'm going to keep saying the Philistines because that's what the Bible says. We'll see. When we get to that, whenever. This could take decades. There's a new word in verse 15. Bechoror comes from Bechor, which means firstborn. That's an important theme in the Bible. Firstborn. You've already seen some issues with firstborn, like Cain kills Abel. Can't remember who's firstborn of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. I think Shem, probably. There's 119 usages in the Law and Prophets, or the Old Testament. And putting this sentence together, it says, Canaan had Sidon, then Heth. Doesn't really change our story so far. Neither does 16 nor 17. So let's jam through those real quick. Jebusite, Amorite, Girgashite, and Hivite, Arkite, and Sinite, or Sinite. And Arvadite, and Zimmerite, and Hamathite, and afterward dispersed the families of the Canaanite. So there's a new word in this verse 18. Nafotsu comes from poots. It means pieces. There's 67 usages in the Old Testament. The pictograph for this word is an open mouth and a person laying on their side. So, like, imagine a jar kind of opened and pouring out, like me after a good party, and I'm vomiting up the alcohol. No, kidding. That hasn't happened for decades. That is this word right here, nafotsu. Where'd it go? This dispersion. So they're like, it's like the blob going out, right? So our story so far could say this. Ahaya reset the cosmos and says to stay purebred human, don't drink blood, and don't murder. We come from either Shem, Japheth the Greek, or Ham, who sired the Philistines and eventually diasporid Canaanite slaves, and the half-breed Nimrod who founded Assyria. All right, 2 more verses. And then we're on to part 2. Let me catch up with the chat. I feel like I'm neglecting the chat, aren't I? Nimrod is probably the archetype of Pharaoh Baal. Duppy. The more we do Duppy files and I read this old stuff, the more I'm like so in that zone. The antithesis of evil. The Santa Claus. Nimrod will be talked about tonight. Jealousy and control. Unchained is looking forward to the discussion. Revenge Odoishi says, no one else I'd rather have read to me. I lost the context. You may be talking about... It's the microphone. This is a really good... This is a cheap microphone in the sense that it was one of several in a set. It's a really good microphone. Genetically altered in the womb, genetically engineered, Two Rivers is pointing out. Those that are already born took the mRNA gene codes injection. Right, we're doing it again. This is the stuff that got the world flooded once. This is the stuff that made Nimrod. This is the stuff we shouldn't be messing with. Pure blood, right here. What do we say? Never been jabbed, never been tested, never been... Maybe it's just that. Never jabbed, never tested. Black Yoda is inviting Unchained 01. So for tonight, Black Yoda, I want 5 or 10 minutes with just you, and then we'll open it up. I know you always want to just flood everyone in, but I'm going to DM you the link and then wait 5 minutes. Just cause. I just want to get a minute with Black Yoda. Just to hang, if that's okay. Just 5 minutes. How do you breed halfway? Do you enter in just far away? Unchained has got some company coming over. I haven't read about Nimrod for many years. Yeah, no, you kind of forget about him, don't you? He fades off into the distance. All right, let me give you all 2 more verses, and then we'll open up the discussion. There's one new word in verse 19, gevul. It means border, boundary, or territory. There's 241 usages of this word token in the Old Testament. It means border. It's pretty straightforward. So, to summarize, Canaan went from Sidon along by Gerar to Gaza and towards Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, Zeoim, and all the way to Lasha. I want to show this picture. Duppy got the Chinese-style anal COVID test, but only because he wanted it. So I think this is what we just read in picture form. I'm not an expert. If I'm stepping on some toes and I'm triggering the Zionists or triggering the anti-Zionists, I don't think there's going to be that kind of problem in the foxhole. But I recognize I'm clumsy. I just looked for a picture and threw it up there. I don't know. Is that the Dead Sea right there? What's that sea? I've swam in the Dead Sea. It was fun. It was weird. Can I tell you all the Dead Sea story? Everyone's laughing at Duppy's dragging on the carpet test. So a friend of mine had shaved that morning and dove in head first. It popped right out. His eyes were so red. He didn't even, he went, shrink, conk. You can't dive into the Dead Sea. It's impossible. So our story so far. Ahia reset the cosmos and says to stay purebred human, don't drink blood, don't murder. We come from either Shem, Japheth the Greek, or Ham, who sired the Philistines, the eventually diasporid Canaanite slaves, and the half-breed Nimrod who founded Assyria. At this point in my note-making, I decided to stir it up. So let me try it again. Ahia reset the cosmos and says, no breeding with fallen angels, no murder, and no blood drinking. We come from either Shem, Japheth the Greek, or Ham, who sired the Philistines, the Canaanite slaves, and the half-breed Assyrian emperor Nimrod. Somewhere in the text, I believe we proved that Nimrod is half fallen angel. I can't remember where that was. I could probably dig it up in my notes. Final verse. Very short, very quick. Let's get to it. Get to it. Two Rivers brings up a good point. Following the scriptures regarding Zion, that's the only Zionist movement respected. The rest are just globalists. And Whiskey Blue says, sup, G Money. I say Money G. He's in the house. Good to see you, Whiskey Blue. These were the sons of Ham, according to their families, according to their languages and their lands and their nations. The way I would say this is, I would paraphrase this. That's how Ham's descendants went, by family, language, and borders. You can sense a nation here, right? Family, language, borders. That's a good definition of nation, right? Kin, common language, has a border. Doesn't exclude adopted. I'm just thinking out loud here. So the Bible is defining nations here, I would argue, as descendants with a common language and proximity. All right, well, that's about it. Let me get a jitly going. I'm just going to stop the music cold. Bonk, gone. Gone. Just gone like that. I'm going to turn off the camera because I have to turn it back on jitly, and you know how that goes. You know how that go. Killed the camera. All right, let's get our Jet Li going. All right. Black Yoda, I'll put it in the chat, but you got to get in here first. There we go. All right, I'll just put it right here in the chat. But let's have 5 minutes of G. Ross and Black Yoda, and then we'll bring everyone else in. How's that for a deal? All right. While I sip my beverage here. So that was a lot of reading. Got it done. in 33 minutes. I feel like I should have a smoother way to do the transition. Notice no green screen tonight. It's just one of those years. So I told my work a few weeks ago that I wasn't feeling it, and I kind of wanted to not have that job anymore. But they pay pretty good, and they're not like letting me go. I mean, they are. Hey, Pythaggy. All right, let me do introductions. Taking the floor, Black Yoda. What's up?
God. That Bernie, will you put that back in the refrigerator, please?
I
No,
like
but
episodes.
you asked me about the why I put that on the. I had to wrap it. That's all I did.
I like the episodes with Bernie. Don't you guys?
I covered it up. You brought. Will you please? Oh my God!
That's some.
No, you.
That's some MK Ultra wallpaper there, brother.
Whoa. No, that's not wallpaper. That's a mirror. That look, people. This
You
is a
got
mirror.
monarch butterflies all over the place.
I do, and I'm not ashamed of it. I got butterflies.
Yeah.
Listen, Bernie. All you gotta do is take the foil off. Why are you? Hold on for a second.
All right, that would be our 5 minutes with Black Yoda. Let me now
No.
introduce.
I want to do. No. It's not what you think it is. Like I literally came inside, sat down, and then she asked me that.
It's question. Good. It's your show, brother. But I'll introduce Pete Aggie while you fix that up.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
We're gonna try something tonight. I'm going 412, hardcore 412 mode. We're gonna all put ourselves on mute quite frequently, and we're gonna go off mute when we want to say something, and I'll MC it. Pythaggy, while we're getting this organized, good evening to you, brother.
Yeah, good evening.
If I may call you brother, we're all foxhole brothers and sisters, I feel, at the minimum.
At the minimum, yeah.
Genesis 6:11 in the chat from Two Rivers. The earth was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. Pythaggy, I'm in my prep for the show. I'm a few weeks ahead, and I'm up to chapter, I want to say late 12. And, we're starting to see how Abraham starts to behave, which is one of your questions. Like, what's the religion like between Noah and Abraham? Mm-hmm. And I'm starting to think that you get a pretty good snapshot when you look at Abraham's behavior. Not that he's pious, but you can see what the text is calling out. I don't really have a lot yet, but I'm kind of watching for that.
Okay. Yeah, looking forward to it. You know that.
All right.
We could use a mute right now. Jesus, that's loud.
That was loud. You're killing in our ears. Was that the sink disposal?
Am I coming in hot?
Yeah, it was, just the sink was.
Let me see if I turn it down if that helps. Does that help?
Yeah, so far. Do you guys see the screen? Right. There's a grown-ass man in a prison hospital wearing a children's hospital mask. It's bizarre. Is that guy?
Has a butterfly on it.
The Scrubs producer. Yeah. Man, I'm telling you. Eric Weinberg. Wine perv.
Did you see that it had a butterfly on the mask?
Yep, good catch. I didn't until you said that. So, Black Yoda, you have some Nimrod, some others. What order do you want to go in?
You know what? That's a good question because I just found out about something earlier this evening, right before you went live, that happened a few days ago over in Europe somewhere. And that for some reason really bothers the shit out of me. And when I speak more about what took place and how it took place, the people in the chat, the people in the conversation, you will understand more. I'm distracted by my roommate right now. For the sake of this conversation, what I meant by Nimrod is because of the
Where'd Duppy go?
encroachment of Christmas. People have a lot of different ways of looking at Christmas. And the older I've gotten, it's not like what it used to be when I was a kid. And for my son in particular, I never wanted to spoil anything for my son. I never told him about, things that took place in our family when it comes to negative things. Like I've never spoke negative about my father. My father lives a few blocks from Roste. I can't talk about politics, religion, God, nothing. With us not get into an argument because he has his way, I have mine, and we go to. Sometimes it can go past, conversation.
Mm.
That's a light way of putting it.
Right.
Right. He's hard headed. I'm hard headed. But I can ask him questions and he doesn't know the definition of certain words that I use. So then I ask him, I'll pull back and I'll ask him, I'm like, how do you understand the conversation if you don't understand the definition of what I'm talking about? And then his pride kicks in and goes into overdrive, and that leftist hold. And I'll say hold, but what I mean by hold is demon takes hold and goes into overdrive. And there's no talking to him after that. You know what I mean? And I've tried. Bro, you know how smart I am. I've used every context I can think of to break that barrier, the wall, whatever. And the only thing I can refer to is 2 Thessalonians 2:11. God will give them strong delusion for believing a lie. He didn't seek truth the way we do. And because of that, he's in God's chosen spell of God is basically saying, I'm not going to let you see because you haven't earned it.
Mm. That's a good intro.
Now,
yeah, go ahead.
No, please.
But yeah, go.
Now, we've earned it because it tells us in the Bible, seek truth and you will find me. And I don't care if it's 1 + 1. That's kind of what I was trying to explain to Brad and Craig last Friday. But it got garbled in my head and I didn't explain it properly. And this is the reason why I appreciate your channel and Wednesday night show in particular. Now, the reason why I want to talk about Nimrod is because the holidays are just a few days away. And I got feelings about that, but I'm not 100 on how I feel about it. And I wanted to talk about that particular topic with you, the people that's involved in the conversation, people in the chat. That's why I came inside, so I could see the chat, because I hardly ever do that. You know me like that. I always stay on my phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I got my laptop right here. And I also wanted to bring up this article, and I sent you links, G. Ross. I don't know if you can pull them up. That particular story about the lady that got persecuted for praying outside of an abortion center. That pissed me off. Like I actually got negative energy flowing through me on top of what I try to keep positive, being Black elder and shit, right? That fucking ooh-wee. And I know how you feel about F-bombs, but that one, ooh-wee, that one pissed me off. Because I didn't even know it was a thing until like 5 hours ago, 5, 6 hours ago.
Right.
So I will shut up. P. Thaggy, Duppy, the floor is yours. And I did throw some invites in the chat before you went live.
Yes.
If Ivanka, if she goes on with us, more power to us. Where's Just Jim? I haven't seen him lately.
I haven't seen him in a while. He sometimes gets pretty busy, I think.
He works on circuit boards. I know what that. I do the same thing. That's my. But he might be doing things for the holidays. It is that week, and it is that upcoming weekend, right?
So, Duppy, you're off mute. Does that mean you are ready to comment first? Or did you not catch that rule that I barely mentioned? Or guideline?
Wait, what? We have rules now?
After the last 2 weeks, I'm trying 412 approach.
I went
just for a little
off,
structure.
I was on mute and then I accidentally went off mute, but then I thought, well, this is Yoda's moment in the sun. I'll stay quiet. So
yep.
The result was the same, right?
You did good. Yoda's like, why are you putting these rules all down? Just a little structure.
You know what? I promise you when I say it's all gonna come together as a definition, because a lot of the things that I sent you, G. Ross.
Yeah.
Well, let me illustrate it like this. Oh wait, you don't have my regular backup page on Facebook. You have my Black Yoda page. Do you have my backup page off of Facebook? Did one of those links that I sent you give you my backup? Because I don't have my regular Facebook on. I don't even use that anymore. And the reason why I bring this up, people, is because there's a lot of weird things that are happening right now. And the devil is working overtime. And I swear to God, just be patient with me. I'll explain it. The devil is working overtime. And the examples, now there's a couple of video links that I would like for you to play. And they're not long. There's, but it all started with the one in particular.
Oh, this might be your regular Facebook. I think I see it.
No. So my regular
your
Facebook
backup
that I use is my backup, and it's spelled with a Z.
Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Okay. If I didn't send you the link, because I thought I did.
You did. Yeah, you did.
Scroll down to where. Wait, hold on. I got the laptop right here. I'm just not used to having it all the time.
You can share your screen, bro, if you're.
Well, you got to teach me how to do it.
I'm not that good at it.
I'm still trying to get. Wait. See, words are simple when you just throw it
yeah,
out there.
I know. I put it on you, but I couldn't do it myself.
I'm worried about you. I'm worried about it. Dude, this is why I haven't even started my channel, because I don't know how to do that shit. Fuck.
I know. It's not easy.
All right. So if you're on your screen, and normally I try to do this in like normal, or not normal, numerical order, to where I can go to one subject to the next. I'll wait till y'all meet this 7-foot chick, or 6'2" chick.
6'2", that's good. That's not crazy.
No. This is so opposite of Wednesday night show.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. This is where it started for me. So if you're on my backup link,
I'm trying to.
F around and find out is the one that I would like you to play. It's only a couple of minutes, but this is how I started my morning, right? Or this is what really caught my attention for today, 13 hours ago. I would really love for you to play this, right?
I'm getting there. I've sent it from my phone to myself. Now I should have it here in a second on the computer. All right. So copy link. I don't know if there's a way I can't share. You won't see the audio.
I've already seen the link.
Yeah.
I don't need to. I know what it's talking about. But I'm going somewhere with this, people. Trust me on this. And in the end,
What? Somebody just zipped into. Or we got Froggy.
hey, don't push him out. That's
Same
hey, that's,
time.
yeah.
We can stand there and laugh with you,
Nobody calls
and you
me
never
an
know
ego pussy.
that we're praying the whole time you're talking. We're God's
Sorry,
secret
that
army,
had to be said.
and we are here
Hey,
to commence war
you know
against
what?
every demonic force.
I like the devil in you, but
Never play with
we
a
about to
spiritual
shit
person,
on the devil right now
because they're always seeing a
I'm
lot
about to
further
bring a lot of
than where
attention.
you are in
Matter
that
of fact, let me
moment.
grab my notebook
Our
because
eyes and our
we
spirit
about
has
to
already
do some
traveled
damage
to
in
where it's
return
getting ready
because
to lead.
I woke up in a good
One
mood
thing you have
this
to
morning.
understand about
I
a
was on a
spiritual
good
person
note, and then
is
the
that
devil was like
you
reminding
can
me,
recognize.
"Hey, I'm still here putting in overtime," and I'm just like, "Oh, you bastard!" And I was just trying to crush it before the sun goes down. That's the kind of conversation we're going to have, and we're going to talk about Nimrod. This is about to be an interesting show tonight, people.
Yay.
Find a way to figure out how to play that shit and everything else that I want to do.
P-Thaggy, you have not come off mute, but
Okay,
I'm
yeah, what's
curious. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just following the rule. I'm just abiding.
Wait.
Well, coming
What
off
rule?
mute means you want to say
Wait.
something. I'm stealing from 412.
No,
Oh,
I
that's
know.
fine.
You
Yeah.
called my name, so I took myself off mute.
Right. Fair. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So
So
I
no,
got a bunch of stuff I want to talk about, but I guess we're gonna watch a video.
Wait. That's a great format. I need to learn this too. So this is a learning curve. P. Thaggy, go ahead. Please, go ahead. I didn't know that. Go.
You have to mute.
I don't even
mute.
know how to mute.
I can mute you, but then you have to. So,
Well, mute. I tell you what, mute me and then unmute me when, because this portion I'm looking at.
I'm sorry, I muted. Oh, I can't unmute you. Black Yoda, I can't unmute you. You have to do it. I can. I did not know that. Where'd Duppy go? Black Yoda, you got to find the unmute button.
But that was funny.
I can't hear you, man.
All right.
There you
If
go.
I click my thing, then I can do it. So you can still do it that way. That this is not broken. So
Right.
do it like that. I don't care. I don't care.
All right, I'll mute everyone. No, I'll mute. All right. Well, I don't have to. All right.
It's a learning curve. Fuck it. Let's do it.
All right, muting. P-Thaggy, you want to do point one?
Okay, sure. I didn't know if you were queuing something up.
Nah, I don't know
I
how
don't
to
think
do
I'm
that.
muted. Am I?
No, I don't have a mute everyone button. But you are now. You are now, Duppy.
So, I feel like there were things last week we didn't really get to. And then I thought today you should have gone to the end of the chapter because it's the very next chapter where we get to Nimrod. So I feel like if we got to Nimrod tonight, it'd be premature. But I felt like it was going to come up, so I went ahead and did some digging on Nimrod. And here's the thing that always made me scratch my head. We're told that Ham's descendant included Cush, the firstly named, seems important. And then later we see that Cush fathered Nimrod. And I think for many people who are students of the Bible, you would probably have somewhere in the back recesses of your mind that Cush was somehow connected to Africa. Does that sound familiar? Is that what most people thought?
It may be.
I need to interject on this one because part of what I wanted to do, we're getting ahead of what I wanted to talk about, but I do want to make a comment real simple and I will mute myself. So there's two Nimrods when it comes to the story. Now, to you, do you even understand that there's more than one Nimrod?
I
As
don't.
you're trying to explain it,
I didn't know that.
what happened to the P-Taggy? No,
He's not-
stop muting
he's-
yourself. I want you
Oh,
to
He's on
oh.
mute. He's trying to try. Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't know. I thought I was just trying to abide. No, I don't think there are two Nimrods. I'm looking
Right.
at a lot of concordances, and they all
Wait,
say
wait.
that it was
All right, all right. So let me give you the breakdown.
grandson of.
Let me give you the breakdown on what I've gathered. All right. So you had Nimrod, which is supposed to be a grandson of Noah, and how he went this far fucking evil is what I'm trying to figure out. But he went way the fuck to the left, right? I'm still trying to figure out what that's about because I don't even get it. And they're saying that he married his mother. That's not part of our. Wow, I don't even know how to put that in words. Like, you have the descendants of Cain, but then you have the descendants of Adam. And how can that even be part of the story? Like, he married his mother, but so that was the first Nimrod, right? So when you go further into that story, you find out that Nimrod had his wife, which was the mother. She proclaimed godhood and some other shit on the original Nimrod. Somehow he died. She gets pregnant because her ex-husband, which was, on God level, impregnated her. And the kid that she had was the reincarnate of Nimrod. That's where the second Nimrod comes into place. You got to do your homework. Black Yoda, baby. You got to do your homework, right? So then you have this second version of Nimrod, which is like an incarnate version of the original. And then that's where Egyptology and other mythologies get intertwined and gets really twisted and molested. So at this point, I'm just looking back at like, how did all of this get messed up? And G Ross, I sent you a link talking about a really brief description of the story a few days ago, and I was just like, we need to go over this.
The Christmas
Because
Saturnalia stuff.
This all goes back to Christmas, and that reincarnation version, the second version of Nimrod, is the birth of December 25th. That's what they celebrate. The pagans. That's what I wanted to talk about and try to tie it into the Bible.
So, do you remember where in the Bible it says there's a second Nimrod? Because I haven't got that far yet.
Oh man, why would you want to break fucking?
I'm just asking because you're ahead of me, which is fine.
Is there a way that you can go into the text messages and then just link it to the conversation?
Yeah, let me try it.
I think I would. It couldn't have been more than 5 days ago that I sent you that.
No, I remember it. Yeah, I got it right here. While I'm digging this up, should we give a round to P-Thaggy?
Now, you can't. Why is everybody muted? What the fuck?
Because we're trying to have a not talking over each other conversation. I think it's working pretty well so far.
How about we just do it our way and then get to that shit later? Because I want input from P-Thaggy and Duppy, especially Duppy. He does this better than I do. He might be biting through his tongue trying to say some shit. I trust Duppy.
Duppy says he has something to say if he could be unmuted.
Wait. Where did Anka come from? Out of the just
She
one
been
word.
here.
I don't see her as a square.
Purple FG. Froggy.
Oh, that's her?
Yeah.
Yeah, hi Yoda. Hello.
Oh, you sneaky motherfucker. I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to talk like
You're
that.
fine.
Oh boy.
Don't yell.
Are we unmuted now?
Yeah, Duffy talk or Taggy, one of you.
Why were we muted in the first place?
We're just trying to not talk over each other. There needs to be some kind of way. 412 Adel Nero does a great job of it.
You know what? I'm gonna leave that alone. Let's get to the topic. But hey, before we get to the topic, I do want to bring up a Bible verse because the evil in this world, the devil in this world, he's working overtime, and I'm gonna get to this part later in the show. And I thought about this as so many different directions. Ephesians 4:29. Will you please read that, G Ross? I'll give you time to type it in. Ephesians 4:29. It's all relative. Trust me. It's all relative.
Yeah, well, when you do your own mother, it is all relative.
When I do what?
When these characters have bed down with their own mother, it is all relative. Sorry, just a bad joke from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, I got it too late. Yeah.
So 29, let no unwholesome word proceed from your mouth, but only such a word as is good for edification, according to the need of the moment, so that it will give grace to those who hear. Is that the one you wanted?
Yep. Now think about, actually, please say it again and say it slower.
Oh, man.
Say it with gusto. Say it with heart. Say it with like God body. Because I actually thought about this as a slogan. Because
Mine.
don't
What's
be
my
all
motivation
like
again?
dramatic with it. You know what I mean? Like,
I was about to.
Gotta be like go Shakespeare style. You
It
know
was
what I mean?
it was about to go there.
I tell you what, just the truth of what it's saying and related to your heart and your experience.
Tyrant 144. I just caught up to Duppy's chat. My new name is Tyrant 144.
You said Tyrone?
Tyrant. I'm the tyrant.
Okay.
Man, there's a lot of chat. Y'all got the chat. See, the chat is more active.
Is another nickname, but we won't talk about that.
Hey, I missed you, punk. Why didn't you participate the last couple of weeks?
I wanted to see what will happen with this one. I'm not that fast.
All right, we got the rest of the evening to play with things, but I want you to read that again, but I want you to read it properly, and I want to have a conversation about what this actually means because it's relevant. It is so relevant to what's happening right now.
So much pressure.
It really is.
So much pressure. I feel like
that's the reason why you have it.
I feel like my first reading obviously fell flat. Let me switch to King James.
Thank you.
Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers.
The hearers.
Yeah.
We're past that.
I hear you. So where is... All right,
the
so
hearers are the ones that we're trying to like show the light to, and we're not like disciples and anything like that. We're the truthers. The truthers are going to take a new definition. And G Ross, with that said, please try to pull up that bullshit article that I learned.
It's so long. It's a lot of words.
I will cut right through it. I promise you I'll cut right through it. You don't got to read the article. I'll cut right through it. Right. The one about the lady getting persecuted for praying.
That one. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, my God, yes. I couldn't wait to cut through this one.
We got to get some Duppy and Pythagorean here. They were so quiet.
When we bring up, let's bring up that topic. I'll let y'all three go over it because I'll have some words about this shit because it pissed my soul off. And you know what? That's a great idea. Actually Ivanka too. Let the three of them go over the topic and the article. The article itself. Yep. I'll come in at the end. Matter of fact, mute me so I can't say shit. You know what I mean?
I'm muting you.
Like, goodbye.
Bye. All right. So
what's the article he was referring to?
It's the lady that got in trouble. She got busted for quietly praying out front of it.
I don't even know if that's worth discussing. For anybody to have a different opinion other than that's absolutely horrible is kind of hard to imagine.
Mm-hmm. Catholic News Agency. Let me get that link here.
I mean, that's basically thought crime.
Right. Yeah, because she was quiet.
Yeah.
It says here, woman arrested by English police for silent prayer. Pro-life volunteer arrested, charged, silent praying. Isabel Von Spruce, March for Life UK. Part of her bail conditions, police were responding to a complaint who believed she was praying silently. She was carrying no placards or signs. After her arrest, she was shown pictures of herself quietly standing in the vicinity of the abortion clinic. Now, here's the thing. I got to stop. Can I do the first comment and then I will calm down? I don't even know if I believe this really happened. I think we're supposed to be angered. It probably does happen, but who knows if this is even real? This is ridiculous.
Well, first of all, how do you prove that somebody was silently praying? Number one.
Right.
Number two, what are the actual charges?
Let's see. Now, she does say, sometimes I'll stand or walk near an abortion facility and pray. She does say she'll do that. I don't know if this article says what her charge is. Clause 9 of the bill would prevent people. So this is not even passed. But there's a bill coming out that would prevent influencing, advising, persuading, informing, occupying space, or expressing opinion near an abortion
it's a
clinic.
trespassing charge.
Now, keep in mind, over there in Europe, they declared personal safe spaces for people. I will mute myself again, but you got to keep it. This isn't America. We have the First Amendment, but they don't.
Right.
But they
This
this
is a real thing. This actually happened, and I just learned about this shit earlier today, like 5 hours ago, and I'm pissed about this. And I'm gonna mute myself. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. All right.
All right.
But also in Europe, they have a tendency to glue themselves to the very expensive works of art. So just remember that.
So Duppy's off mute. Do you have anything, Duppy?
Well, I kind of already said it. It's almost like a thought crime, but how can they prove that she did any of that stuff with the exception of occupying a space that under whatever whack job law she's not supposed to be occupying, therefore it's trespassing.
Right. She may have confessed to it also.
So
Pythagi has said, wait.
Nope.
Pythagi has
that's
said
not what
nothing.
happened. So
go ahead.
These people declared a safe space in front of like abortion clinics and throughout whatever the fuck happens in like Europe, right? And they documented her walking from home to job, pictures. And she would always pause and just say a little prayer to herself. She's not. And the whole reason for these safe spaces that they built in Europe is based off of social safety and like justice. And you won't be, you'll be okay. You won't be like violated in some way. She's minding her business, not saying anything to anybody. And somebody was like looking at her and was like, "What are you thinking, bitch? I'm calling the police."
I'm going to share this.
I mean, we all agree that whatever they're charging with is wrong. the question is, or at least that I'm raising, is what grounds do they actually have to charge her with anything other than
None.
trespassing?
Now,
Can you
if
guys
you
see
read
my
the
screen?
actual article, and I know I just dropped the bomb on y'all didn't even know this was a thing. I didn't even know it was a thing. One of my best truther friends dropped it in my lap, and I was just like, this can't be real.
Can you all
So I
see my
looked it
screen?
up.
Yeah.
I looked it up, and I was just like, not only is this real, they're trying to give her 2 years in prison.
Can you all see the screen? I'm sharing
Yes.
picture.
I did see this article earlier today.
I'm not 100% sure that this is real.
No, it's real, bro. It's real.
Okay.
I looked it up. Trust me.
She's
No,
a
it's real.
CIA agent.
So she can't be a fake protester, like a dressed up Antifa?
I mean, okay, look.
Wearing a red MAGA hat?
The story as such, I'm incensed by the idea. But she either went back later for the article, for this photo, or...
No. If you read the article, she claimed to be innocent. She claimed to be, hey, I've been walking past this place for like 20 years.
Is that supposed to be the woman, or is this just some stock photo they took of a woman?
It says
praying?
Isabel Von Spruce, which is her name.
Okay.
So I think that's her.
I'm assuming it's her.
I just smell a fish.
Wrong,
I'm just saying. I think there's something goofy going on.
All I'm saying is the devil doesn't stop with his overtime, is my point. I could give a fuck whether or not this story is true or not.
Agreed.
My point is, it's in the mainstream media, it's in people's heads, and you got left versus right. And as far as I'm concerned, the devil has full hold of the left and is trying to ascertain whatever he can from the right. How do I view politics? I'm down the middle. But I will lean right as shit if it fucking disrupts his agenda. Because I see what's taking place. How do people not see the devil throughout history when you read everything and you understand it's all attached to each other? These families, these history stories, everything, it's all attached.
Just send her an email.
How do you not be on the right side of God and try to smite these motherfuckers? And you know what, G. Ross, let me ask you this, because this is a question that really pisses me off the most.
Yes.
God could have smited them all right out of the gate.
Mm-hmm. The problem of evil.
But the problem with that question is it's not up to you. He gave you discernment and freedom of choice, which boils down to the fact that our world is a learning experience. What side will you pick?
Okay.
Good or evil? Good comes with complications. Evil comes with blessings and celebrity status. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
And people are so simple, they can't see it for what it is. It's right there in their face.
Right. So there's one person who has said very, very little.
P. Thaggy.
And P. Thaggy has not unmuted, so he has no comment.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
I'm here.
Use your words, bro.
No, I do have a comment.
Okay.
I was.
Yeah.
Can we have a mute? Can we?
Everyone mute.
Can we do it? Can we do the thing?
Everybody
can we do the thing?
Yeah.
P. Thaggy has the conch from Lord of the Flies.
Can we do the thing? No, because literally like 15 minutes ago, I started reading my notes. I said 3 sentences, and Black Yoda interrupted me, and he hasn't stopped talking since. So, like, I was on my notes, and I got cut off instantly.
Yes.
So I think we do need to implement the mute button. So I think what Black Yoda was referring to with the 2 Nimrods is a reincarnation, which does not come from the Bible. It was, but I do know what he was referencing. I saw the same post on Pilled. Someone dropped a video on Pilled, and it was very interesting. I think it linked to a website called the Serapium.com, which I bookmarked because it's got lots of cool stuff in it. Different. It's like a blog. It's not like it's not like super authoritative. It's a blog, but it's someone's collected a lot of stories on a multitude of topics, including these early biblical stories. So now, since it's kind of a cold subject, after sitting on a shelf for 20 minutes, maybe people don't want to talk about Nimrod. I think maybe it would work better next week when we actually do get to the Tower of Babel and to Nimrod. But if people want to talk about it now, I've got notes.
We're doing Nimrod. I'm going back to mute.
Are we done with that other topic?
We're not done, but we're definitely going back to Nimrod.
That's fair.
Well, let's finish that other one so we can.
Pythagi is going linear forward through the topics, and I can see the logic there. Do you want to close out? Do you want to add a comment, Duppy, in a minute? Pythagi, did you complete that first comment or no?
No, I didn't. I got interrupted. I didn't even finish my first comment.
All right, let's dig that out.
We didn't even get anywhere with Nimrod. We did not get anywhere.
Well, you preambled.
Let's finish this one. I don't want to sit through shows where every question just kind of goes by the wayside and we never answer anything.
I think that's the same thing Pythagi is saying.
So we started this other one. Let's finish it.
What do you have to add about the other one?
Well, what if it didn't really happen, but the story was planted to galvanize Christians and other people to, be hyper aware of the impending tyranny leading perhaps to even thought crime?
Fair.
Yeah, there is a lot of seems like news all the time that come out of nowhere, but they're very emotionally high, and you don't really know what is the agenda until the agenda is presented to you. So, like with anything that surrounds us, we get constantly bombarded with the news that set our day. You wake up in the morning and you have like 50 different topics that already got started somehow. But then you find out that all it was is another, like when they talk about religion, when they talk about racism, when they talk about the education system or whatever, like all these things add up and they're controlled, most of them, because they need to push some type of legislation or something, like for instance, guns, whatever. So they would have a shooting. It's very emotional. Like you don't want to find out somebody got shot, but then you realize they're using that to drive a narrative that we need to ban all the guns, right? So I don't know. I'm not saying we don't know who this lady is and what her intention was, but I could see a lot of news stories getting just for the purposes of a narrative. But sorry, I'm done.
Good. Pythagi, about Nimrod. I don't know if I'm going to make it all the way to the Tower of Babel next week. I'll try. Can you say your first point about Nimrod having set the stage?
Are you talking to me? It's getting choppy in here. It's getting choppy.
Sorry.
It's roboting on me. I have full bars, but it's getting robot in here.
It might be my internet.
No, I think I want to talk more about what we read tonight. I want to get more on topic. I think the Nimrod stuff can wait till next week, because if you turn the page and the very first paragraph, I think, Is it Nimrod? Once you get into oh no, I know what it was. I know what it's not the turn the page. So we're kind of at the cusp between two chapters.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of reason to reason to suppose that Nimrod was the creator of the Tower of Babel, but there's no actual proof. The Bible
Agreed.
doesn't say that. But if
Right.
you read all the commentary, that's the consensus. People believe that that's kind of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
What we do know is that he created empires, and in direct defiance of God, he wanted to sort of subjugate men and create the first kingdom or empire. And well,
I have a
for me, it
question.
was I had two.
Wait.
I have a
Oh, here we
question.
go.
Wait, Yoda.
Did Nimrod force his agenda the same way as LGBTQRS people? It's pretty much the same thing. And the other question I have is, how did Nimrod, the original Nimrod, go so far south of his grandfather Noah? I still don't understand that one. That's what I want to bring up. And that's why I don't want to dismiss it until next week, because Christmas will be what? Before then? I don't want people putting their energy toward a demon or some kind of Luciferian shit before Christmas. I don't celebrate Christmas, not even a little bit. Let's focus on that.
I think
Nimrod
it's a
at the same
personal
time.
thing.
No, I'm gonna mute myself, but I want Pete Aggie to pick that up and talk on what he's talking about. I don't want to wait till next week. Let's talk about it. But I gotta mute myself.
Okay. Yeah. So I watched the video that linked Nimrod to the origin story of Christmas, and I thought it was very compelling. But that's what documentaries do. They're supposed to compel you. If you haven't done that, you haven't done your job. But yeah, for what little we know about this guy and him holding this Christmas tree, or at least this tree, and the gift giving and so forth, this was something that was created by his wife, mother, uh, Semiramis, however you would pronounce her name.
It's Semiramis.
We don't, we don't know for absolute sure that it was his mother. All we know is that she was a powerful woman, and Eusebius, an early Christian author, not, or I guess he was Roman, but sort of leaning Christian, was writing a history of the church and antiquity. He writes about how it was his mother, but then the story really gets going later in the 19th century with a Scottish author who brings forward all these other stories, and who knows where he got them. So obviously that was the time when those sites of Nineveh and Akkad were being excavated, and stuff was being brought out of the earth, and Hammurabi's code, and blowing the dust off the fossils and reading the cuneiform. So maybe a lot of things came to light in the 19th century when that was going on, and I'm kind of thinking that's where we get these stories. But all we know is that she was a powerful woman, was covetous of power. She says that she had his son, and that his son was the actual reincarnation of the father. This is a legend. It's not in the Bible. So, Black Yoda, do you believe that there were two Nimrods? Are you believing outside sources?
Ask G. Ross about the link that I sent him. It specifically talks about that. Everything that you just said specifically talks about that. That's what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to ascertain how other Christians feel about that. Everything you just said. I completely agree that I literally just read everything that you just said recently. But I've already known about Saturnalia and ancient Rome, and the fact that in the beginning of our country, they outlawed Christmas because it was a pagan holiday. And because they used to sacrifice babies and do orgies and just the most, right? Now, back then, finding that kind of information was easy. That was way before censorship was a word, right? I don't know how you can find it now because all the truthers that used to be on YouTube posting videos and had good information kicked off. Twitter accounting isn't happening with YouTube yet.
Right.
Maybe one day. I'd love to see it. I've lost so many channels off of YouTube. It's ridiculous. But this isn't about YouTube. This is about God. And bottom line, the tighter they make these restraints on us and our beliefs, the more focused I'm on God and my disposition. And I'll leave that one at that. I'm not lacking in my faith. I just want to talk to more people about it. But because they censor so much shit, I can't give them the easy kind of rope-a-dope, shit that they would, bounce to. Because everybody that will give them a 2-minute video, purged.
Right.
Everybody that will give them something simple to digest, like cereal in the morning before you go to school or to work or just whatever the fuck, purged.
But you know what? I like that. If I could jump in, Black Yoda.
Please.
Keying off what you were just saying, you made my brain think there's one thing that seems to have struggled to get censored, and that's the 66 books. Yeah, maybe they're leaving some stuff out, but that highway signpost is surviving, meaning the Bible.
That's not complicated to me because it's real simple. It tells you in the Bible, "Seek me, you will find me."
Right.
And if you get past the beginning part of like simple early studies of Christianity, right? You'll start to realize, hey, some of this doesn't make sense. And you start to ask questions. And then when you learn about those other books, it's on you whether or not to read those books. The Apocrypha?
Right.
Really?
Pythaggy came off
all
mute.
Books, you don't want to read those ones?
I like reading the Apocrypha. Pythaggy came off mute. Can we work him in?
Please.
Pythaggy, I said something that took you off mute.
Can we mute Yoda?
I will mute myself, Pythaggy.
Thank you. There we go. Yeah, I was looking at the Apocrypha too.
Hey, but just so you know, I can unmute myself too.
Whoa, okay. Whoa, welcome.
Black
Turn the volume down. Coming in hot, buddy. Okay. Yeah, I was looking at the Apocrypha today too, because there's actually a lot more than I realized. Because we all know about the Nag Hammadi, we know what they found in 1945, we know about the Dead Sea Scrolls. Apparently, according, who was it? I found a commentary where they said the Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch was the most sensational and biggest piece of the Dead Sea Scrolls, but that the Hebrews didn't like it because it was messianic. It talked a little bit too much about the Messiah, and so therefore they wanted to squash it. And then later in 1945, you get the Nag Hammadi, you get these different, like the Gospel of Thomas. There's even a Gospel of Mary Magdalene. Then when I looked at, I found a website that had all of the apocryphal books, and it's mind blowing. There's Judas. There's like 30 Gospels that I've never heard of. It's way more than the Nag Hammadi and the Dead Sea Scrolls. So there's actually no end to this stuff. And then you have to consider when you look at the. Hello?
No, I was just going to say, may I interject for a second?
I was right about to finish my point. I'm like 2 sentences away.
No, go ahead. I just want to interject afterwards.
So, so when you look at the Septuagint and you look at what is the earliest Bible that we even have now available for all these translations? These things are not as old as you think they are. They're not like, it's not like the Hebrews had original parchment that Moses wrote on. No, these things they only go back to like maybe 300 BC at earliest, and that's pretty rare. Most of them are actually in the AD, and they come from different libraries like Constantinople, Milan. So they're writings and writings, they're recordings of recordings of recordings of recordings. Nobody has like scrolls that Aaron and the judges wrote on, or Samuel, or the chroniclers, or the Deuteronomists. Those things don't exist. So the writings that we have are basically, they're mostly based on the Septuagint, which is Greek, which is the first early Greek translation of the Hebrew Bible. So you have that constraint. So when you consider that, when you consider how far away and how far removed we are from real scripture, it's like Black Yoda was saying, what's your yardstick? How do you know if someone else's testimony should or should not be included in the Bible?
Now, I know that's a question, and I'm going to be very delicate on how I answer this one with you, because you're actually saying the same things that I talk about. Literally, right now, you're saying it right now. What's funny to me is there's a way I can describe to you what that means and how you answer, or not answer, but ask that question. G. Ross will get this because of the Mandela effect. But my question to G. Ross is this, and I want y'all to pay attention to how I word this. G. Ross, does that not sound like the beginning of your questions and my questions all in one? Like think about the Mandela effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that not sound like a do-over? And that question is between me and you, like definition, right? But I'm talking about the definition of the answer of what he wants. It's complicated, right? Do you see how it goes back and forth, but then it eventually lands on the same thing?
Yes. I have to say I hate the Mandela effect, but I think it happens.
But do you get my point, though?
Yeah, like
I realize this isn't answering shit for anybody else. This is between me and you, and I'm trying
well,
to talk.
I might be lost also, but the vibe I'm getting, I think I'm following. I have a similar opinion.
No, I dig what he's talking about.
Right. Yeah.
How do I answer that without knowing which version I'm dealing with?
Right. What I have found is that if I take they did this little ceremony where they all put in stones or whatever, and they decided which books would go in the Bible or whatever, and they had their rationale. It's
now, for argument's sake, not to cut you off, it's your show, it's your channel, but for argument's sake, my point is real simple. I've gotten to a point where I realize changes takes place, right? How do you answer two versions of a question that are drastically different, but from the same so-called version? You understand what I know? You get how I'm trying to ask you that question.
I think I do.
I'm not really talking to the chat right now. I'm talking to you.
I'm doing my best.
Jackie, we're gonna get to you, but you oh my God. It's complicated. It really is. And we're not even talking about religion at this point. Well, let me take that back. The only person that can make these changes is God, our God.
Right.
Outside of time, space, and matter, our Most High, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the reason why we have this channel.
Ooh, I think
this is the reason why G. Ross wants to do this with me, is because we see Not only do we see what we've gone through, we see what you guys are going through. And we want to share the experiences and share the histories that we've learned. Tie them together, unfuck the lies. Go ahead.
You might be giving me too much credit. I think you see a little bit deeper in this angle. But I gotta. Did you ever see the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, the first one?
Man, don't make me smack you.
This has to do with what you're saying and the Mandela effect.
Please go ahead. I would love to hear this analogy.
They have a time machine, so they go fix everything that needs
fixing. I know
fixing.
the story. Please, I want to.
Right. At the end, they start fixing everything that needs fixing, everything that needs fixing. So everything works out exactly right. That's that God level of ability of dealing with fluid time and the Mandela effect. I think that's kind of what you're getting at.
Not really.
Oh,
Not
okay.
even close. No,
sorry.
No.
Sorry.
I want to answer P. Thaggy's question. I really do. But it's more complicated than that. Like, there's many examples that I could use, especially like when I was raising my son, Julian, trying to teach him how to read and do arithmetic. Oh my God, that shit was frustrating. I'm not saying P. Thaggy doesn't know. He does know. That's the problem. The problem is there's so many lies and untruths in his life. He's trying to piece together what's real and keep science and truth that was already taught as a lie, right? And it's not just him. It's all of us, right? We all got to go through that.
So you're talking about the Matrix, in a way.
Kind of. In a weird way, that was a good way of putting it, where you start seeing the code. And when I say start seeing the code, in the movie The Matrix, they make the code see like you can see literal code. No, this is not how it works. In our world, you got to go with your heart chakra and your vibration and your empath. That's the reason why they poison your pineal gland so much, so you can disconnect from all of that and just go to the TV, go to the movies, and go to the beer, alcohol, and drugs. It's really that simple, people. The devil isn't that complicated, and he's not that fucking slick. But he will use those resources against you.
I think you hit on something there. So P. Thaggy raised the question of canonicity, and I think we're both trying to say not too hung up on that, but from different angles. Can we get Froggy in on this?
Please.
And then Duppy.
Oh, that's Ivanka, right?
Yeah. Froggy, you haven't said anything in a while. You want to croak in?
I reclaim my time and I give it to Paggy.
Awesome.
Wait, I'll just say this and shut the fuck up. I missed your voice. I'm glad you're here. Please, the floor is yours.
Well, yeah, do you have anything, Froggy?
Thank you so much. No, but I
okay.
Really don't.
Well, because on canonicity, I'm kind of curious if Duppy had anything to throw in.
What happened to Ivanka?
She doesn't have a comment on this one.
I don't really have a comment on canonicity. I thought we were talking about Nimrod.
Right, but
I wanted to talk about Nimrod because Christmas is coming up, and I wanted to talk about how this isn't Jesus' birthday. This ain't even close.
I hold to September 11th. P. Thaggy, did I miss your point? You kind of veered into canonicity, right? Extra biblical, apocrypha, and all that, right?
Yeah, I did. There's a new word I came across this week, and I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's like s2e32.
Yep.
What? Can you say it?
It's the pseudopig thing. Pseudopigrifica.
That sounds like what Trump's going to do to Liz Cheney eventually.
Oh, rim shot. Yes.
They can taste
Yeah,
so
exactly.
good.
But you know how words, you know how people, like, words are really important, right? You got to use your words. So what I assume they mean when they use this other word, they don't call it, the Jews don't call it apocrypha. They call it the
Pseudepigrapha. I just looked it up.
okay.
Wait.
Pseudepigrapha.
Let me ask you a question about the Jews real quick.
Whoa. You've been talking for like 50 minutes. Can I say
You
something?
have.
Please,
Can I say
Who's-
something?
Whose background noise is hideous? Is it me?
It's Thaggy.
Daggy.
Okay, we'll deal with it, Thaggy. No problem.
Okay, I was outside smoking. Okay, so
Hey, smoke up.
So here's the thing. I assume, and this is an assumption, so don't nail me to the cross. I assume they came up with this word in contradistinction to apocrypha. It's the Catholic Church that calls it apocryphal, but the Jews have a different word. They're like, no, it just means it's not canon. But they have a tradition where they respect all the ancient writings and they take them all into consideration. So for someone to codify a religion and set things down like, no, these are the books and these other ones are out. They're clearly out. Like that seems like hard nosed and
Pete
whoa,
Thaggy, let me ask you
whoa.
a question.
Hard nosed. Whoa. No, don't ask me a question. I want to make a point. So I assume that what they're doing is they're controlling the religion. They don't even want you to look at other sources of knowledge. They only want you to look at these books and no other. And that was my
Of
point.
course.
No, we get that part, but Pete Thaggy, let me ask you this. What is an Ashkenazi Jew by definition to you? If you want to Google it, take some time. But
J
what is an
question.
Ashkenazi Jew?
Nice.
Have you ever even heard of Ashkenazi?
Yeah, I have. I know about the two types of Jews. Yeah.
Explain it.
Someone, I don't remember who it was, but someone said that they are not even related to the Hebrews or Jesus.
No,
and
they're
that they're
converted by
like
faith.
pretenders.
Right.
That's the
they're kind of
that's the
pretenders.
Khazarian theory.
No,
That
Ashkenazi.
says that.
Now, those same people are the people. No. Some of those people are who we're dealing with in the Ukraine.
Not at all. I'm gonna put a stop card. No.
Please go, because you're there.
Ashkenazi, what you think is something completely different from what it really is. It's almost like saying southern and northern. There is two types. There is Ashkenazi and Sephardi. People that came from the like Spain and all those like whatever, like before the time I don't even know, but they're like Sephardi, they're like darker people because they're like
more Moorish.
More, yeah,
Correct.
I guess I don't have the lingo, but yeah. And then Ashkenazi, they're like more European type, like from England, France, Scotland.
We're on the same page.
Yeah, I think we are on the same page.
But they're not.
The Ashkenazi are originally supposed to be from like Eastern Europe,
like
Germany.
Caucasus.
Yes.
Now, as far as I understand it,
wait, I got one more thing to add.
Yes, please.
Believe it or not, there was a kingdom back. God, I'd have to look it up, but
Duppy, please drop the mic. Drop the mic, because I think I know where you're going with this one.
There was actually a kingdom called Ashkenaz in the modern day Armenia area back in like the Dark Ages, I think. Just thought I'd drop that one in there.
Nice.
So, when it comes to the lost tribes of Israel, it really is lost. But the problem is, it's not. People are starting to learn about what it really is. Now, these Ashkenazis, when they talk about anti-Semites and they want to, why are you persecuting Jews in mainstream media and all that? That does not exist. How can you persecute somebody that's not Jewish?
Hey, should I keep us on YouTube and Facebook?